गुड इवनिंग एंड वेलकम टू गना शॉट। गना शॉट में आप सबका स्वागत है। वणक्कम, नमस्कारम and pranam. Today I'm going to speak about something which is dear to my heart. I'm going to talk about the Indian artillery. The Indian artillery in which I was commissioned, I grew up, I commanded my regiment, I commanded my brigade, I commanded my artillery division, and then finally I retired as the Director General of the Indian Artillery. It was a long journey in which I saw yesterday, today, and tomorrow. I see tomorrow coming as far as artillery is concerned. Why am I talking of artillery today? क्यों बात कर रहा हूँ आर्टिलरी तोपखाने के बारे में? ये शो तकरीबन मैं पहले भी कर चुका हूँ 3 साल पहले, और एक आध बार मेरे ख्याल में डिफ टॉक्स में भी कुछ बता दिया. And but today the focus is on artillery due to the Russia-Ukraine war, due to the massive build-up by China against us across the LAC. ये दो कारण की वजह से आर्टिलरी के ऊपर फोकस आ गया. सब मेरे से पूछते हैं, सर डू वी हैव इनफ आर्टिलरी, सर डू वी हैव इनफ एमिनेशन. क्या हमारा आर्टिलरी का क्या है? सबसे पहले मैं ये आपको बताना चाहता हूँ कि हमारा आर्टिलरी जो है बहुत तगड़ा आर्टिलरी है. इट्स अ ट्रेमेंडसली स्ट्रॉन्ग आर्टिलरी, राइट? It was strong yesterday, it is strong today, it will be strong tomorrow. The second thing is that Indian Army understands artillery very well, and we are a very seasoned artillery, and we've kept pace with times. If the Indian Army wants a model, that model for procurement, for modernization, and everything is with the Indian artillery. Right. I would like to say a few things here before I get involved with the whole story. Today I'm only going to focus how our artillery we built up to almost full ATMANIRBHARTA levels. I would say 90% ATMANIRBHARTA. On another episode, I will tell you, मैं बताऊंगा आपको कि what is our capability to fight a war like Ukraine, क्योंकि उसका भी experience है हमारे पास कारगिल में. Right? I see Anand, who's one of my members. Welcome, Anand. You are the first member. I'll not forget you. At the same time, I'd like to tell everyone that look, I've opened membership up. Please join in. It's all up to you. And I've opened it at a pretty basic level. Once the members are populated, then I'll come out with certain things for all members. Don't expect too much from me at this point of time. Okay. You must understand, there's always a light side to artillery. And those who don't understand artillery end up like this. You give a gun salute, कोई नेता जाके डर जाता है. ठीक है ना? तो आर्टिलरी में वो ताकत भी है कि नेताओं को डरा देता है. Okay, for those of you who want to see this cartoon closer, this is how artillery is, and don't miss the gun at the rear. We are proud of it. हम सबको डरा देते हैं. Okay, now let's get to something serious. What are the hardcore elements of national defense? हमारा राष्ट्रीय सुरक्षा का मजबूत खड़ी कौन से हैं? मेरे हिसाब से और किसी के हिसाब से वो है अपना एयरफोर्स, नेवी, इन्फेंट्री, मेक फोर्सेस और आर्टिलरी. जब एयरफोर्स की बात करेंगे, फाइटर्स, ट्रांसपोर्ट एयरक्राफ्ट, हेलीकॉप्टर्स. नेवी में वॉरशिप्स, सबमरीन और एयरक्राफ्ट कैरियर. राइट? इन्फेंट्री में न राइफल्स, मशीन गन और लोग, मजबूत लोग। मेक फोर्सेस, मैकेनाइज्ड फोर्सेस में टैंक्स, आईसीवीज, इन्फेंट्री कॉम्बैट व्हीकल्स। आर्टिलरी में गन्स और मिसाइल्स। राइट, ये हैं हार्डकोर एलिमेंट्स ऑफ national defense. Welcome, Debashish. You're a new member. Glad that you joined the board. Okay, लास्ट में नीचे अगर आपने देखा तो मैंने लिखा आर्टिलरी इज द गॉड ऑफ वॉर। ये जोसेफ स्टालिन ने बताया, और आजकल ये मुहावरा is being oft repeated. Everyone says artillery is the god of war. So let's talk of the Indian god of war today. Okay, in this, I would like to say, they also say artillery is ultima ratio regum. What is it? It's the final argument of the kings. In today's parlance, it is called the final arguments of nations. अगर दो देश लड़ाई कर रहे हैं, अगर तोपखाने का ताकत है तो जीतेगा। कुछ दिन पहले मैंने जॉन मेरशेमर, जो अमेरिकन विशेषज्ञ है, उसको सुन रहा था। उसने बोला कि ये जो रशिया और यूक्रेन का वॉर डिसाइड होगा दो चीजों के ऊपर, एक है आर्टिलरी और दूसरा है मैन पावर। जिसके पास ज्यादा आर्टिलरी है वो जीतेगा। राइट, सो आज हमारा जो फाइनल आर्ग्यूमेंट, देश का जो फाइनल आर्ग्यूमेंट है, उसके बारे में हम जानकारी हासिल करेंगे। राइट, सबसे पहले आर्टिलरी का खासियत यह है, हम अपने बीवियों को ऐसा तोहफा देते हैं। जब वो बोलते हैं व्हाई कांट यू बी लाइक अदर हस्बैंड्स एंड सेंड मी अ बर्थडे कार्ड इंस्टेड, ना जी, हम तो तोप हैं, तोप ही देंगे। ठीक, तो ये हमारा खासियत है। राइट, तो एंड और लेडीज रिकॉग्नाइज इट, और लेडीज आर वेरी प्राउड ऑफ गनर्स एंड दे आर वेरी प्राउड ऑफ बीइंग द गनर्स वाइफ्स। ओके, इंडियन आर्टिलरी कल क्या था? कल इतना ये था कल। ठीक, अगर आप नजदीक देखना चाहते हो तो कल के दिन, यानी कल का जब हम जमाना, वी टॉक ऑफ इट, it is up to the time when Kargil happened. Till the time Kargil happened, we had guns and rockets with which we used to carry out neutralization. And we had a range of approximately 30 kilometers. Why 30 kilometers? That was the range of Bofors. We fought the Kargil war with this kind of guns. Okay. Today, you are a highly indigenized arm, and this, I think, is the time between Kargil and Ladakh, when the Eastern Ladakh thing happened. You expanded your artillery. You got to be capable of destruction, and you had more guns, you had rockets, missiles, and you had networking. The major thing which came in was you had rockets earlier, but today you had missiles and networking, which is a major factor. And you had a range when we fought the Ladakh, or rather we went in to Ladakh against the Chinese. We had a range of about 290 kilometers with BrahMos. That was the missile we had. And we could destroy. Of course, we started the process of destruction in Kargil. And we continued with this thought process. So when Eastern Ladakh happened, we had this capability to destroy. So what will it be tomorrow? Tomorrow, it has to be deterrence. हमारे पास इतना आर्टिलरी तोपखाना होना चाहिए कि और कोई नजदीक ना आए। क्या हम वहां बढ़ रहे हैं? जा रहे हैं ऑलरेडी, तकरीबन वहां तक, काफी हद तक पहुंच गए। वी हैव टू बी फुल्ली आत्मनिर्भरता ओरिएंटेड एंड एक्सपोर्ट ओरिएंटेड। क्या हम इस दिशा में जा रहे हैं? हम जा रहे हैं। You have to be deterrence. When you have to say deterrence, what do you need more than what you have? you have to have a range in excess of 500 kilometers. Of course, you'll need guns, motors, and rockets and missiles, जो पहले भी थे. You need networking. But दो चीज और आपको चाहिए. अगर आपको deterrence चाहिए तो आपको चाहिए precision और intelligence. Right? It is without this, it's very difficult to get to deterrence. Range, precision, intelligence. Are we there? We are somewhere there. In fact, we are a long way there. Don't worry about it. Okay. In the artillery, हम guns को पूजते हैं. There are gods. ये तो कार्टून है जहाँ पंडित जी is doing puja of the guns. But let me tell you, whenever we fire, we do puja. And we do it during war. Every day in Kargil, during the Kargil fiasco, we were not in Kargil, I was somewhere else, when we had to fire, or rather for anything in the gun position, हमारा पंडित जी सुबह सुबह he used to do puja, right? I'm from a Rajput regiment. हम करनी माता की प्रार्थना करते हैं, तो हम पहले दिन शुरुआत करते थे करनी माता हमारे लफ्जों के ऊपर, बोल करनी माता की जय, और उसके बाद सब कुछ, दुश्मन को उसके बाद निपट लेते थे. And many times I used to make it a point to go to the gun position to be part of the mandir function first thing in the morning on a gun. और ये पूजा गन के ऊपर होता है, मंदिर में नहीं होता. ये मेल है between your it's a confluence of your faith and your capability on the gun. It's something no one would have told you, but this is what it is. If I could not go to the gun position and be with the boys for mandir, प्रसाद मेरे पास आता था. जहां भी मैं बैठा होता था, प्रसाद आता था. Faith is important. Faith moves mountains. Okay. जब हम न्यूट्रलाइजेशन की बात करते हैं, ये गन्स कौन से थे ये तो पता होना चाहिए हमें. अगर आप बाएं देखोगे, ये 25 पाउंडर गन है जो ब्रिटिश जमाने का गन था, जिसका रेंज तकरीबन 8-9 किलोमीटर होता था. उसके बाद दाहिने अगर आप देखोगे, छोटा सा गन है 76 by 24 मिलीमीटर हाउविट्जर, इसका रेंज तकरीबन 9-10 किलोमीटर हुआ करता था. ये मेरा पहला गन था जिसके ऊपर मैंने गनरी सीखा यूनिट के अंदर. मैं गन पोजीशन ऑफिसर था, और ये गन was the first indigenously manufactured, designed and manufactured gun way back in the 70s. Can you believe it? Completely indigenous gun and a terrific gun. It could be taken by air, it could be taken in a helicopter, it could be taken underslung in a helicopter, it could be taken on mules, it could be pulled by mules, it could be pulled by any kind of a vehicle, including a jeep. Very versatile gun. On the right is the 105 mm light field gun. Completely indigenous again. Came to us in service in 85, 86. And it has been with us from then to now. We still have it. I'll talk of this gun a little later. नीचे अगर आप देखोगे, लेफ्ट साइड में वो गन है 130 मिलीमीटर गन. This is a Soviet gun of 1946 origin. It has gone upgrades, not much, but a very fearsome and a strong gun. It is still in our service, substantial number. It has its uses. It's a very good gun. And the one on the right is the Bofors. Proven in battle. This was yesterday. Okay. What is today's artillery? But before I get into today's artillery, I need to tell you a story. जब तक आपको पता नहीं है कि हमारा आर्टिलरी किस तरीके से आगे आया, किस तरीके से how it has gone through, you'll never understand why we are where we are. So what is this story? Okay, in the 80s, we inducted two Indian guns, light field gun, 105 mm light field gun on which I showed you, and the 105 mm Indian field gun. We produced this gun from end to end. एक सिरे में फैक्ट्री में लोहा अंदर जाता था और उस फैक्ट्री फील्ड गन फैक्ट्री कानपुर में दूसरे सिरे में गन बाहर निकलता था. ये क्षमता थी हमारी, अभी भी है. 84 में बोफोर्स का इंडक्शन हुआ. जब बोफोर्स का इंडक्शन हुआ, हमने टीओटी लिया और हमारा कल्पना था कि हम बोफोर्स केयर आफ्टर बोफोर्स बनाएंगे, पर वो बोफोर्स का कांड हो गया एंड दैट बोफोर्स प्रॉब्लम stopped us politically. We got involved and we couldn't manufacture this gun and operationalize the TOT. In the 80s, in the mid 80s, something called the IGMDP came into being. What is IGMDP? IGMDP है Integrated Guided Missile Program. Okay. उस वक्त मिड 80s में रेजिमेंट ऑफ आर्टिलरी के पास लेटेस्ट गन्स थे. We had Bofors, light field gun, IFG. और उस दिनों में towards the end of around 88, 89, पृथ्वी और अग्नि भी इंडक्ट हो गई. 80 to 90, we were one of the latest artillery. Now let me tell you about the light field gun. ये जो light field gun है, 105 mm light field gun, अगर इसको आप देखोगे, यूके लाइट गन को देखोगे और 105 mm गन ऑफ यूएसए देखोगे, दे आर ऑल सिमिलर एंड आइडेंटिकल. ऑल थ्री आर आइडेंटिकल. हाउ इज दिस हैपेंड? We made, in 80s, early 80s, we had made the 105 mm IFG, but it was very heavy. It was 4,300 kg, 4.3 tons. We wanted something lighter. So we saw the UK light gun and we copied it. In 1.5, 2 years flat, because we had the knowledge of the 105 mm IFG, we copied the light field gun and it was in service in 85, 86. And it is in service even now. Right? And if you think that's an old gun, no. The British Army uses it. The Chinese Army uses it. And the US Army uses it. It's a light gun, again very portable, you can take it anywhere. Okay. But here comes the problem. यहाँ एक सवाल है. All indigenous gun designs were closed. क्यों close हुआ? क्योंकि बोफोर्स में हमने TOT ले लिया तो हमारा डिजाइन का सिस्टम बंद हो गया. हम इतने बेवकूफ हैं, हमने 105 mm IFG का प्रोडक्शन बंद कर दिया. बोफोर्स को प्रोड्यूस नहीं कर पाए क्योंकि there were inquiries against the whole deal. We couldn't operationalize the TOT. And whatever design capability we had dissipated. They were all posted out. 90 to 2000 was the worst period. Inquiries on Bofors, we closed 105 mm IFG and we couldn't make headway on Bofors. Or we said we want modern ammunition for the new 155 mm, right? So we almost closed down all the ammunition lines also and fuse lines. We took all these decisions in good faith, but with poor planning and political problems. It put paid to everything. Overall, 90 to 2000, we were absolutely in a mess. But we fought the Kargil war well. We fought the Kargil war with the Bofors which we had. We had 24 regiments of Bofors. And it became a resounding success. That I will explain one other day. Kargil war, what we did, how does it compare with Ukraine? The Kargil war taught us that we need one more of 155 gun systems. And our future battlefield is in the mountains. In the mountains, you need 155s. So at that time, we decided that we should have the standard in artillery as 155 not 105. 105 was required because 105 gave you the ability to close into the enemy. But to destroy the enemy and hit him hard, you needed 155 Right? I would request all of you to first listen to me and then talk. Because I see Vijendra saying, कल्याणी का क्या हो रहा है? कल्याणी का कुछ नहीं हो रहा है. आप लोग जब तक ये समझोगे नहीं और आप फिक्स्ड आइडियाज के साथ आओगे, आपका सवाल भी नहीं लूंगा मैं. फिर क्या है कि आप लोग बेवकूफ के बेवकूफ रहोगे. This is not a story of reflex action from media or sponsored by a company. This is deep thought process and evolution of the Indian artillery over the past 30 years. Okay. And I'm proud that I was part of this journey. And that is why I'm telling you the thought process. And our thought process is solid. Okay. So in Kargil war, we made this decision of 155 as the standard artillery caliber. Okay. I see Ajay has also become a member. Welcome to the show. Thank you for contribution. I think you also, yeah. Thanks for this. I will talk of this later. All your questions later. Okay. So this is where we were at Kargil. उसके बाद क्या हुआ? We got deployed in the glacier right from 84, and we made it with whatever we had. We put Bofors, we put 105 guns, we put light mortars, 120 mortars, and we also put 130 guns. All guns, all what we had, we deployed on the glacier, and we played hell. हमने पाकिस्तान को काफी नाक में दम कर दिया. ऐसे मारा कि वो याद रखते हैं आज तक. पर ग्लेशियर में क्या था? छोटे छोटे डिप्लॉयमेंट थे, छोटे रेंजेस के ऊपर फायर करते थे. राइट. मोटर्स जो है ना वहां बहुत इफेक्टिव थे क्योंकि वो हाई एंगल ट्रेजेक्टरी के साथ बहुत इफेक्टिव थे. और वहां हमने सीखा कि ऑब्जर्व्ड फायर और ओपी ऑफिसर्स जो सामने जाके फायर को डायरेक्ट करते हैं उनका क्या वैल्यू है. बहुत बहुत सीख हुआ. And we gained experience in high altitude firing. जितना एक्सपीरियंस हमें इस ग्लेशियर के फायरिंग के ऊपर और वहाँ कारगिल के लड़ाई के बाद फायरिंग, क्रॉस बॉर्डर एलसी के फायरिंग के बारे में हमने जानकारी जो हासिल किया वो सब बरामद है हमारा रेजिमेंट्स के अंदर. वी आर अ वेरी टफ एंड एक्सपीरियंस्ड आर्मी. Look at what Colonel Phillips said, and he said this in 1777. Where a goat can go, a man can go. Where a man can go, he can drag a gun. And that is what we did in the glacier. In fact, on the glacier, even goats can't go. But man went, and man took artillery along. The regiment of artillery has taken artillery into the glacier to places where we could not have imagined. At 21,000 feet, you have guns firing. They have their problems, but वो और किसी दिन मैं आपको टाइम मिले तो समझा दूंगा. कारगिल ऑपरेशंस. कारगिल ऑपरेशंस के में क्या हुआ था? Places like Tololing and Tiger Hill were occupied by the Pakistanis. They were just, अगर if you go there, you can see, and you'll see, oh, ये इतना नजदीक है. They're just about 6-7 kilometers away from the National Highway 1 Alpha. The National Highway 1 Alpha on the south is Srinagar. It goes past Dras, Kaksar, Kargil, and goes on to Leh, and then on to the glacier. उन दोनों में the second route, Kulu Manali, was not fully operational. So the Pakistani plan was to occupy these hills, Tiger Hill, Tolling, other places also, just to give you an idea I'm giving you, and get artillery fire onto this National Highway 1 Alpha and close it. Now, if you close National Highway 1 Alpha, the logistics chain to the complete Indian Army up north would have closed. If that closure happened, they would have dried out. And if that dried out, Pervez Musharraf and his gang thought they will sort us out. But that didn't happen. It didn't happen because of artillery. Unfortunately, ये जो वीडियो है बरका दत्त का, I cannot show you because ये स्ट्रीम यार्ड में है नहीं. अब आप जाइए यूट्यूब में और इसको देखिए. एनडीटीवी का क्लिप है by Barka Dutt, where she talks of how Tiger Hill and Tololing were pulverized by artillery or Bofors, direct firing, और नष्ट कर दिया पाकिस्तानियों को, और it paved way for victory. Now here I will tell you a very important lesson. Why did we win in Op Vijay? We won in Op Vijay because we had the capability to fire and we had the capability to move. We fired quite a bit and very effectively, which the Pakistanis could not do. And our infantry was able to maneuver and move and reach the target and capture the target. And at times, the artillery had to fire as close as 100, 200 meters away from our own troops to enable our infantry to move. Never done in mountains, but we did it. The difference between Russian artillery, Russian forces, and Indian artillery and Indian army is this. The Russians are stuck in Ukraine because they have not been able to move. Their artillery has been very effective, causing destruction of Ukraine. But they have not enabled, or they don't have the capability of movement by infantry. If you study Bakhmut, as details will come out later, you will find this Wagner forces acted as the infantry. And even they did not behave like Indian infantry. That is why I keep saying, what we have got, what we have done, और हमारा जो capability है, वो और किसी के पास नहीं है. ना चीनियों के पास है, ना पाकिस्तानियों के पास है. पाकिस्तानी भी देखिए, वो आके ऊपर बैठ गए, वहां से फायर करते रहे. फायर से नहीं होगा, मूव नहीं किया उन्होंने. अगर आप पीएलए का पूरा डॉक्ट्रिन पढ़ोगे, उसमें भी बहुत देयर इज लॉट ऑफ emphasis on fire, but no talk of move. Unless you fire and move, you will not win in battle. And I'll explain this to you when I talk about the thing between Kargil and Op Vijay later. Sometime later I'll do that. Okay, ये है एक पिक्चर गोलकोंडा फोर्ट का जहां हम ट्रेन करते हैं. एंड अनदर इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग जो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है हमारा आर्टिलरी का, दैट वी ट्रेन हार्ड. एंड दिस इज द ट्रेनिंग विच आवर रिक्रूट्स डू. जो अग्निवीर आजकल ट्रेन कर रहे हैं, ऐसे ट्रेन करते हैं. ये एक पिक्चर मैंने दिखाया है, और ऐसे ट्रेन करते हैं. गुर्दा चाहिए, दम चाहिए to lift a gun and train. And this is a picture of officers lifting a gun and pulling it. When I was a second lieutenant, I also did it. We are proud that our officers have the dum. That will win wars more than anything else. Dictator 12321, welcome and as a member. Glad you chaps are joining in. Okay, now I'll have to remove this and put another presentation because this presentation had become too heavy. And our Jawans also train to manhandle guns. इसीलिए वो है where a goat can go, a man can go. Where a man can go, he'll take his gun. We'll take our gun where we have to go. And this is a 130 gun being manhandled by a detachment. Okay, so it is not only the guns. Oh, Robert Ahsan, thank you. Welcome. Join in again. One more. Great. I'm becoming popular. Gunner shot is becoming more popular by the day, which is great. Okay. So we have the great people behind the gun, the man behind the gun, and the man behind the machine. And I'm very proud of it. I'm proud because had a long hand in training these people. Okay, let's talk of today. Today we are talking of destruction, right? And destruction of the enemy. Look at what we write on the top. This is our belief. Artillerymen believe the world consists of two types of people: other artillerymen and targets. Bus. It's a fact. It's black and white. Yeah, either you're an artilleryman or you're a target. That's the way we think. Okay. And of course, when you talk of high tech stuff, there's always this great hazard where you could get loaded into the gun and fired off. Okay. So there's of course a chap being auto loaded into a Bofors. Right. Now let me get back to the story. I spoke that 99 से लेकर say sorry 90 से लेकर 2000 तक was a bad time. We didn't get great, we didn't do anything. But we did something in around 2001, 2002. What did we do? Like, no, you have to see it closer, I'll get off. We drew up something called the RT Profile 2017, which is a master plan. It was based on a study by the then Vice Chief, which is called The Shapes and Contours of Futures Wars by the Vice Chief then, in which he laid out how future wars will be there for the next 50 years. Based on that, we made a plan. So, what I'm trying to tell you here is that our planning started for up to 2050 in 2000, and we are halfway into it. It is not as if we have not thought through it. A lot of study, right? Normally, you will see newspapers talking of field artillery rationalization plan. It is not there. It doesn't exist. What exists is the artillery profile 2017 and today's thing, which is called artillery profile 2027, and that's been modified. And the artillery profile 2027 was written in 2007. It was written by me, so I know it. That's a detailed plan as to how we are going to procure items, what items we are going to procure, why we want to procure, how will future warfare pan out, what is the manpower required, what is the cost analysis for all this, and projected 30 to 40 years ahead. If you think people are fools, no. Okay, now let me get back to this slide. In this, we saw our plan was we wanted 7 types of guns and 5 top types of rockets and missiles. People smirked at us. There was no consensus. सब लोग सहमत ही नहीं थी. लोगों ने बोला यार तुम लोग तो बेवकूफ हो। ये मीडिया वालों और पब्लिक ओपिनियन ने तो हमारा धज्जियां उड़ाई। लोग आते थे रोज हमारे पास, आपका प्लान तो बेवकूफ प्लान है, ये गन खरीदो। जैसे आप लोग बोलते हो ये ट्रक माउंटेड खरीदो, वो खरीदो, वो खरीदो, नहीं खरीदना। जिसने बेचना है वो आके सब कुछ बेचेगा आपको, उसका तो काम है कमाना आपसे, हमारा काम वो नहीं है। प्लान, राइट? एंड पीपल राइटली क्रिटिसाइज्ड अस कि कौन 7 गन खरीदेगा, कौन सात, कैसे आप 7 गन खरीद पाओगे। पर इसी समय 2000 से 2010 तक there were few things which happened. We a 155 mm shell factory was set up at Bolangir, and it is still functioning. We set up a bimodular charge system plant at Nalanda. It got into problems, we had to close it. We switched from normal fuses to electronic fuses, that whole plant went fut. And like I told you, we stopped the 105 mm line, we बंद कर दिया, बोफर्स प्रोड्यूस नहीं कर पाए, मैकेनिकल फ्यूजेस लाइन भी हमने बंद कर दिया, टोपी लगा के हम बैठ गए। Right, 105 mm gun production line closed, procurement of 155 mm टॉड, हॉविट्जर, एसपी सब हमने ट्राई किया, सब जीरो के जीरो, बट्टा जीरो। हमने जितना भी कोशिश किया, जितना आरएफपी डाला, जितना ट्रायल्स किया, सब कुछ टप, सब कुछ जीरो। और सब लोग हमारे ऊपर हंस रहे थे कि तुम लोग बेवकूफ हो, तुम लोग नाकाम हो। पर हमने नहीं छोड़ा, क्योंकि हमारा बेसिक विचार ठीक था। अंदर अंदर every day we used to face people telling you are useless fellows, you don't have guns, you don't have ammunition, you don't have fuses, and this nation cannot fight a war. हम झेलते रहे, ठीक? Right, then what happened? Despite all this, because हमारा सोच ठीक था, हमने बोला कि ये टाइम आ गया, आरटी प्रोफाइल 2017 में कुछ कमियां हैं, हमने आरटी प्रोफाइल 2027 जारी किया। उसमें हमने स्कोप, वी वाइडन द स्कोप टू इंक्लूड गन्स, रॉकेट्स, मिसाइल्स, सर्विलेंस, एमुनिशन एंड मैन पावर। वी स्टार्टेड लुकिंग बियॉन्ड, वी स्टार्टेड लुकिंग विद अ विजन, but we didn't have guns. At one point of time, we were even planning to buy old 130 mm guns from East European countries. At that point, we were at a dead end for guns and ammunition. 2010. What we could not do in 2009, 2000, sorry, 90 to 2000, the missteps we took, we paid for it for 10 years. जिल्लत से हमने देख गया. I even had an occasion when someone told me, यार तुम तो प्रमोट हो रहे हो, तुम्हारा आर्टिलरी का क्या हो रहा है? पर मेरे को विश्वास था, और मेरे सीनियर्स जो उन दिनों में हम एक ग्रुप थे जो आर्टिलरी, मैं उन दिनों में एक ब्रिगेडियर था, 2007 I was only a brigadier, but I had a hand ahead because I had to write that thing, the planning. We had a vision and we worked with a resolve. उसका परिणाम क्या है? That is the beauty. In fact, इससे पहले कि परिणाम क्या है आप ये देखिए जिल्लत. George Patton had said, I do not have to tell you who won the war. You know the artillery did. That's what everyone says. But look at the Hindu article by a person called Rahul Bedi. Okay, have a look at it closer. What did he write? He says, an army in search of artillery. We did not have anything. And he's written, despite the efficacy of artillery fire unleashed by the Bofors during howitzers during Kargil, the Army's long-standing field artillery rationalization plan stands stymied. When did he write it? 2013. But why he didn't know that by then we had gone across the hill. That's the story. Next part of the story. There's a story actually of defeat into victory of our system. As late as 2014, people were writing such stories. Okay, what is our present status? We are in 2023, 10 years later. That's 10 years. 2014, Rahul Bedi wrote that. What is this in 2023? You all heard it. You have M777. It's a gun, titanium, 39 caliber, 4 tons, light gun. You can take it anywhere you want. It was deployed in eastern Ladakh. You have Dhanush, which is a 45 caliber gun, weighs 13 tons, with a complex hydraulic system and an extended range. It has already been inducted. The other day in eastern Ladakh, it took part in exercises. ईस्टर्न लद्दाख में फायरिंग जो हुआ था इंडस क्रॉसिंग में ये शामिल हुआ था. दाहिने नीचे आप देखिए K9 वज्रा, ये 2020 में ऊपर डिप्लॉय हो गया था. एसपी गन 44 टन, 5 रेजिमेंट है हमारे पास और 5 रेजिमेंट हम ले रहे हैं. और ये हाई एल्टीट्यूड केपेबल भी हो गया अभी. ये सब सिर्फ 10 साल के अंदर. ऐसे तो थोड़ी ना हो गया. ये उससे पहले हमने जो काम किया इसमें हुआ. और हमारे पास शारंग भी है. शारंग के बारे में थोड़ी देर में बात करूंगा. ये 130 गन को हमने 155 बना दिया, इंडिजिनस कंप्लीटली. इसमें मजे की बात यह है कि सब इंडिजिनस है ये. और बीच में अटैक्स जो अभी आने वाला है 52 कैलिबर, जिसका रेंज 50 किलोमीटर, अभी फाइनल स्टेजेस में है इंडक्शन का. वो किसी दिन रेजिमेंट में पहुंच जाएगा. इसके अपने अपने प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, पर बात मजे की बात यह है कि आई विल गो बैक. सी दिस second line from the top. We focused on 7 types of guns and 5 types of rockets. Today we have 5 types of guns with us. Out of the 7, we have 5 types of guns. I want to tell you a personal story. I was very heavily involved in this procurement of guns from 2007 to 2014 when I retired. I took it through a crucial period, a lot of help, everything. One day, a person came to me, and all these are tricky procurements, tricky deals which I was doing. Just think, एक बोफर्स के कांड के ऊपर पूरा प्रधानमंत्री डाउन हो गया, गवर्नमेंट गिर गया, दूसरा गवर्नमेंट आया, वो भी गिर गया. 30 साल तक हम कुछ कर नहीं पाए. मैं 5-7 केस चला रहा था. एक बंदे ने आके मेरे को बोला, यार ऐसे कितने केस चला रहे हो, सर कट जाएगा. मैंने बोला, कितने केस भी चला लो, सर तो एक ही है, एक ही बार कटेगा. मंजूर है, पर मैं ऐसे बंदा नहीं हूं जो कटवा लूंगा. और मैं आपको आज रिटायर होने के बाद 7 साल के बाद फकर के साथ बोल रहा हूं, इंडिया में 5 इंच गन है और आगे भी आएंगे. क्योंकि जो रास्ता हमने बनाया 2000 से वो बड़ा क्लियर है कि हमारा तोपखाना कहाँ जा रहा है. और I want to tell you also that each of this procurement took us nearly 10 years, 10 to 12 years. When I retired in 2016, I had signed the ultralight howitzer deal. I signed off on Dhanush trials were done. Sharang trials were on. K9 Vajra, the deal was done. And of course, then the induction started, all that. Now improvements will take place. I'll not go into the details of all this. But believe you me, they're some of the toughest deals, most complicated deals. These complicated deals give you a model to now handle the Indo-US deals. Because, like I said, हमने ये प्रोग्राम जनरल सतीश दुआ के साथ भी किया था और जनरल राजीव नारायणन साथ के साथ भी किया था। ये जितने डील्स हमने किए हैं सक्सेसफुली किए हैं, इनका एक्सपीरियंस जो है वहां काम आएगा अगर हम फोकस रहें तो, क्योंकि मॉडर्नाइजेशन जो है आगे इन हथियारों को करने के लिए वी नीड दोस डील्स टू कम थ्रू। ओके, हमने बोला 5 मिसाइल सिस्टम, ये तो 4 है, 4 तो है हमारे पास। कौन कौन से हैं हमारे पास? बीएम एक्सटेंडेड रेंज 21, ग्रैड 21, इसको हमने क्या किया? हमने इसको पूरा मॉडर्नाइज कर दिया, एलएनटी ने किया। ब्रह्मोस हमारे पास है ही खुद का। पिनाका एक्सटेंडेड रेंज हमने तैयार कर दिया, ये भी 100% इंडिजिनस है, और एक्सटेंडेड रेंज 80 किलोमीटर तक जाता है। और स्मर्च एक इकलौता सिस्टम है हमारे पास जो रशिया से है, और आगे नहीं चाहिए। ओके, ये जो नया कुछ सवाल होंगे कि M777 का क्या फायदा है? M777 का फायदा ये है कि 4 टन के साथ यू कैन टेक इट एनीवेयर इन द माउंटेन्स। अगेन यू कैन टेक इट in a helicopter, you can take it underslung, you can tow it with a jeep, you can tow it with a car, you can tow it with a gun, anywhere you can take it. And it gives you titanium technology. Today, we are the global supply for M777 guns all over the world from a firm based in Lucknow. Dhanush. Dhanush is an upgraded version of Bofors. What is the difference between the two? People don't understand. ये कॉपी नहीं है, हमने जरूर कॉपी किया। और एक I like to tell you a little more about Dhanush. When we opened the drawings of the Bofors gun, we couldn't understand them. So what did we do? We took an old Dhanush which was accidented, took that out, kept the drawings, opened part by part, examined the parts and the drawing, then made the part, fitted it onto a normal Dhanush, Bofors, tried it out, and then kept it aside for the Dhanush. And slowly we built Dhanush. And it's a 45 caliber. What's the difference between the 45 caliber and the 39 caliber? 39 caliber Bofors gives you 30 kilometers range. 45 caliber Dhanush gives you 38, 39 kilometers of range. In high altitude, you get 25%. That's a different thing. Alag. It's completely automated. Completely different from Bofors. Right? And 100% indigenous. It had its problem, it will have its teething problems, but we made it. What is Sharang? I'll come to Sharang a little later again. I'll come back. K9. We started K9 as a joint venture between L&T and the Korean firms, Korea. Today, L&T has the capability of making K9. Of course, as per the agreement, we still have to get part from Korea, but we're going to integrate it here in India. And complete spare support, sab kuch idhar hi hai. And now it is high altitude capable also. And I'm just waiting for attacks to come in. Again, an indigenous gun made by Tatas and क्या बोलते हैं उसको, Kalyani. Right. So this is where this whole story is today. Okay, I've told you about these guns. Now Pinaka. Pinaka, when we fired Pinaka, when Pinaka came in 2010, when I took over as the GOC for an artillery division, Pinaka was very good. I found the equipment very good. Fantastic firing. But the problem was it had only 37 kilometers of range. Then I went back to DRDO. I said, can you increase? They were doing it. And when I was a DG artillery, I had become a DG artillery, they said, sir, let's have trial of Pinaka with 55 kilometers. I said, go ahead. So they showed me that 55 kilometers. This was in November, December 2014. They fired that It reached 55 kilometers, but the accuracy was way out. I said we need to have guidance. So I went to RCI. I spoke to the present scientific advisor, Dr. Satish Reddy. I had known him before because I had worked in DRDO some time back in the IGM-DP program with Dr. Abdul Kalam and Dr. Saraswat. So I said we should fit in a guidance system in this. Within 1 year, we were able to design and retrofit a guidance system into the Pinaka. And today, Pinaka has a range of 82 kilometers. Within 1 year, we fired it. 6, 7 years, we've got a guided weapon system, 80 kilometers range. That's our capability, and that's what can happen in this. Right. Then, of course, this gives you the capability of firing as many as you want. I mean, it is 72 rockets in 40 seconds, right? Then, of course, artillery has this capability of doing extensive CI ops, and we were very prominent during Galwan. Galwan wouldn't have been won but for our artillery boys coming and fighting shoulder to shoulder with infantry boys. And we've done hell of a lot of, after infantry, maximum effort is from artillery. Okay, tomorrow, what are we going to look at? We're looking at deterrence. BrahMos today is the main instrument of deterrence, but this extended range is also important. If you see this HT news clip, it's all about it's a clip. ये यहाँ StreamYard में नहीं आता. Okay, then we have precision. We started getting precision with the Excalibur thing. We already have Excalibur. हमने high altitude में भी test कर लिया, planes में भी test कर लिया, बिल्कुल सही है. So you can pinpoint targets and hit them. Then we are into cutting edge technology. This project is with me in IIT Madras, Ramjet project, where we're going to increase double the range of 155mm guns. Our technology is clear. We are going ahead as per the project, as per laid down timelines, and probably ahead of them. This is our artillery story. This is our spearhead of deterrence. Now, when you say deterrence, what do you say? You have to understand what is our capability. Sometime back when I was in service, I flew missiles from Hyderabad and I flew BrahMos systems from Ambala and took them to Car Nicobar, right? And when took them to Car Nicobar, from Car Nicobar we fired on to a island in the middle of nowhere at max range, 290 kilometers then. Today it has a much more range at a place called Track Island. And we took it through a loop so that the cruise part is also tested. Why did we do all this? Because from there you can close Malacca Strait with just BrahMos. ये तो कार निकोबार से है, but if you take it down to Indira Point and all that, you can absolutely pinpoint anyone there. And you force multiply it with the naval deployments, naval BrahMos and the Air Force BrahMos, Malacca Strait can be closed with just BrahMos threat. That's the deterrence effect we have today. Now, what do we need against China? Against China, this is the road network, basic artery of China across the LAC. We need the range of our artillery to reach there. Do we have that range fully? No, we have partially. BrahMos can reach, but our Grad can't reach, our Pinaka can't reach fully with 80 kilometers. So you need something in the range of 200, 250 kilometers because this road, all their road network is around 100 to 250 kilometers away from the LAC. If you can fire on this, अगर इसके ऊपर हम कारगर फायर डाल सकते हैं तो चाइना को पकड़ सकते हैं, वो उनका बत्ती बंद हो जाएगा. मैं बात कर रहा हूं बत्ती बंद हो जाएगा, राइट? उसके लिए क्या करना है अभी आगे बताएंगे. वी आर डेवलपिंग अ हाइपरसोनिक सिस्टम. इट्स ऑलरेडी, इसका क्लिप जो है ये भी आपको यूट्यूब में मिलेगा. और अगर इफ देयर इज वन thing in which our DRDO is very good at, it is in missile systems. They'll come at within a year or two, we'll have a hypersonic system. I have no doubt about it. Okay. And We need to exploit technology. अगर आप देखेंगे तो this Pinaka is a fantastic weapon system. We had the Mark 1 with 37 kilometers range and normal propellant. Mark 2 is 80 kilometers range with case bonded propellant and it is guided. What we can develop once we have the ramjet technology, you put the ramjet technology in the Pinaka, you get a range of about 200 to 250 kilometers. And you जिस दिन हमारे पास ये आ जाएगा, you control that line जो हमने बताया across LAC. फिर तो चाइना का हालत मुश्किल हो जाएगा. And Mark 4, what I visualize is a hypersonic with about 150 kilometers range. Hypersonic systems have lesser range, not full range. Okay, there's the capability in this missile. That's what we can aspire for. In any case, DRDO is developing a longer range hypersonic missile, so that will come. In the next 2-3 years, I expect it to come into play. So we're going to have a very strong artillery. And we've had all these projects in artillery, and most of them have been successful. Whether it's in rockets, guns, ammunition, surveillance, and networks. Artillery is the only arm which is fully networked through ACCCS and the BSS. We have good surveillance systems. We are fully integrated with Herons, with the Loros and Swati. We have a good thing, and we have good experience of it. Okay. With this kind of a setup, Indian Army will have one of the strongest artilleries of the world. On that I don't have a doubt. Do we have numbers? Yeah. These are the numbers जो हमारे पास होंगे. हमारे पास बोफर्स के 20 रेजिमेंट हैं, राइट? वो तो कहीं नहीं जाएंगे. सोल्टम और शारंग हमारे पास आज के दिन 12 रेजिमेंट हैं, 24 होने वाले हैं. व्हाट इज शारंग? यू टुक ओल्ड 130 mm गन, उसका बैरल निकाल दिया और 155 mm गन का बैरल लगा दिया. इंडिजिनस, मेड बाय द एस्ट्राइल OFP, अभी AWEIL. What is the cost? 2 crore. What is the cost of a M777? 20 crores. At 1/10, with that you get a 155 mm gun. वो है हमारे पास, आ जाएगा 24. And these numbers are all regiments. You multiply this by 20. That's the number of guns, 155 guns you're going to have within about 2 to 3 years. Many of them we have, we'll have some more. You will let 7 regiments. K9 we have 5 already. We're going to 10 shortly. Dhanush, we already have 7. Overall plan is we might have up to 60 odd regiments. We don't have 7. I think we have only 1. We'll get them initial 7 and then followed. Grad BM21, we're going to have 5 with the extended range modernized. Pinaka, we have 6 today. We're going on to 16 very soon because uska orders वगैरह place हो गए. BrahMos 6 to 8 we have, I don't know the exact number. Smirch we have 3. So this is the kind of an artillery we have. 1/3 of our artillery is completely modernized, which is a very, very tough ask. In 3 years, half of our artillery will be completely modernized. And if that extended range kicks in, then your deterrence power is multiplied. And that's what we have. Because this is a toast to the guns, which is well known by our artillery. By them we live, for them we would die. Whatever the mission, we'll give it a try. We'll serve them with honor, for these are the ones that make us artillery men. So here's to the guns, to the guns. This is an unknown artillery toast. Okay, I think I must tell. I had a lot of dealing with this Mr. late Manohar Parrikar. Fantastic man. We vibed. And the Indian Army and the gunners and the nation owes a lot to him. Much more. मैं बोल भी नहीं सकता हूँ. हमारा बदकिस्मती ये है कि ये डिफेंस मिनिस्टर कुछ और दिन ना रहे और इनका स्वास्थ्य की वजह से ये ऐसे 2-4 और मिनिस्टर हैं आए तो हमारा कुछ और हो जाएगा. और ये भी मैं बताना चाहता हूं, जब हम ये पूरा कर रहे थे, हमारे दो एक्स चीफ स्वर्गीय जनरल रॉड्रिग्स और आजकल जनरल दीपक कपूर, उन्हें बहुत प्रोत्साहन दिया। और हमारे जो जितने डीजी आर्टिलरी हैं 2000 से लेकर आज तक ये काम लगातार कर रहे हैं। मैं तो 2016 में रिटायर हो गया, मेरे रिटायर होने के बाद 3 और डीजी आए, वो दे टेकिंग द बॉल फॉरवर्ड and they're taking it well forward. I'm proud of being an artilleryman, and I'm proud because artillery will save the day for India, will win the day for India, and we have the strongest artillery. इसमें मेरे को कोई डाउट नहीं है. Most artillerymen, or many people feel, a cannon is an instrument employed in the rectification of national boundaries. If the national boundaries have to change, you need artillery. Okay, I'll take questions now. I'll go quickly over all questions. Anand, Anand says, don't forget to like the videos. I would like you to like this video. I would like you people to come with more subscriptions. Unless that happens, this thing. Yeah, Debashish, why did it take the long to homemade artillery? Look, see, Debashish, why I put it up is you spoke of corruption. There's no corruption. These things take time. Time लगता है. ठीक है, टाइम लगता है. ऐसी बात नहीं है कि 10 years is nothing in this game में, क्योंकि ये आर्टिलरी हमारे साथ अगले 50 साल तक रहेगा. You have to invest time and with a clear head. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Debashish. Right. Yeah. Indeed, satisfying to witness Indian-made artillery. Yeah, there's no doubt. Yeah. Next question. With greater focus on China, now learning from, do you think we should improve? We don't need. We already have so much. We don't need. When we planned the number of regiments and pieces we need, we took all these factors into consideration to handle China. Okay, don't worry. Biggest question nowadays is who flies the drone, observation or infantryman, observation officer. In Razangla, we were without any. Who said so? Don't even think like that. Yeah. Would again request to kindly throw some light on the 105 mm light field gun plus the status update. Indigenous precision guided shell will take time. It's not going to happen overnight. Okay. 105 mm field gun, hai? We are using it. There's no problem. We can produce it. We are even exporting it. We've even given some to Myanmar. Vijayendra, that's why I said, we don't talk to me about Kalyani, Bharat Forge or L&T or this thing. I'm not interested. Right. Ajay Sharma, new member, welcome. Dictator, new welcome member, welcome. Rabit Hasan, thank you, welcome. Your question, how important is portable artillery pieces in mountain warfare? Pretty important. You need motors. We still have some motors where you can take them. We have the 105 mm light field guns, very portable, very good. Light howitzer, it's a game changer completely for us. Right? So the combination of this light gun, the light howitzer, the light field gun, and the motors give us tremendous mobility in mountains. Right? Where there are no tracks and roads, you can take them and deploy them. That's the thing. We have this capability today. That's why I said you need to fire and move. Fire and move. Move ke liye, it's not only infantry moving or men moving, you have to move firepower also. When you're firing at one place, you move some and fire from another place. For that, you need this capability. Effort should be made to replicate they're doing what it is. I've spoken to the previous chief. We've had discussions on this. Oh, Yeah, I've spoken about Dhanush, I've spoken about M777. Any other questions you can ask? Right. Mounted gun, and look, all these are 4x4, 4x6, Garuda, Kalyani, ये सब नाम है. Mounted gun systems have their own problems. Okay. And we didn't visualize mounted gun systems in our setup long back. We have visualized 155 mounted gun systems, but that's a procurement process which is to start. It is there in our plan. Just because Kalyani comes up with a poster and someone else comes with a poster, we are not going to take it. And don't get fooled by any of these fellows. They all have capabilities. I know Baba Kalyani well personally. I've gone to their factory. I like it. But when it comes to picking the right gun, there's a due process which goes through. And that process is foolproof. क्योंकि वो प्रोसेस फुल प्रूफ है, हमारे पास 5 गन हैं आज के दिन. ठीक है. आश्वासन होना चाहिए, आप सबको यकीन होना चाहिए जो हमने हासिल किया है. एक चीज के बारे में मैंने बात नहीं किया, एमिनेशन. 2010 में जब मैं आर्टिलरी डायरेक्टरेट में पहुंचा एज अ मेजर जनरल, हमारे पास एमिनेशन नहीं था. कुछ इंपोर्ट किया, कुछ जाके इंडिजिनस बनाया, कुछ फैक्ट्री खोले, कुछ लाइंस दोबारा फ्यूज लाइंस खोले, कुछ नए बीएमसीएस के लिए कष्ट किया, एज एंड kept building. I'm very happy. By 2016, 6 years it took me. When I left, Indian artillery had enough ammunition. And if artillery has enough ammunition, India has ammunition. That is why in 2017, General Bipin Rawat had the guts to carry out whatever he did at Doklam. अगर हमारे पास आर्टिलरी ना होता तो डोकलम में जो हमने स्टैंड लिया वो हो नहीं सकता. हमने जब चीनियों को रोक दिया, अगर हमारे पास आर्टिलरी का एमिनेशन नहीं होता, 2020 में जो हमने मुकाबला किया ईस्टर्न लद्दाख में और चाइना पीछे हट गया, उस वक्त नहीं होता. तो ये बेवकूफी है सब बोलना कि भाई हमारे से नहीं होगा. और एमिनेशन जहां तक है, सब बोलते हैं कि क्या हमारे पास क्षमता है एमिनेशन बनाने के लिए? है. For the kind of expenditure envisaged and the kind of holding we have over 2,000 guns and ammunition to fire 30 days from that. If you're going to use only say 400, 500 guns at a given place, that means that many more days of ammunition you have. 5 times that. In which case, you can always ramp up your production system. Okay. We use 4 lakhs fuses in a year. हमारा क्षमता नॉर्मल में 4 लाख फ्यूजेस वी बाई फॉर ट्रेनिंग. अगर हम जंप कर सकते हैं, वी कैन गो टू 8 to 10 lakhs इन अ ईयर. तो ये सोचना कि हमारे पास क्षमता नहीं है, ये मैं मानता ही नहीं हूँ. बेवकूफ हैं जो बोलते हैं, जिनको पता ही नहीं है. ठीक है. ओके. Ajay, sir, the standardization to 155 would also having robust logistic chain. Yeah, we all have. This is all sorted out. Don't worry. I mean, we had gone into it in great detail. All these 5 guns can be producers. Yes, they can be produced. That's what I said. Can Excalibur produce? Yes, it can be. But at this point of time, we are firing only from M777 because the mating has been done. Because if you have to fire Excalibur from other guns, you have to do certain things which you have not done. Because there were some questions on the Excalibur ammunition itself that got cleared 5-6 months back. Now we are through with M777. You see, एक और चीज ये है कि you don't have that much Excalibur ammunition to fire with all guns. So it's better to keep Excalibur with one gun and fire from that gun. And that gun is mobile. You can take it wherever and fire. Right? Not get it stuck with Vajra or Dhanush and all, which are heavier guns. You can't. They're not that mobile. That's it. Yeah. Is there any work going on for Ramjet? Yeah, I said so, Sai. We are doing it. Vijayender saying success of HIMARS. We have Pinaka. ये तो मैंने दिखाया आपको. मैंने बोला ना, आप लोग ना सब फिक्स्ड हो न्यूज़पेपर्स के ऊपर. आप सुनते नहीं हो क्या मैंने बोला? वही क्वेश्चन आ रहे हैं बेवकूफ सा. Yeah, I've given a, I don't see the button. The button is at join. And right at the top of this chat box, I've given the link also. You can just go to that link and join. बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं आप सबों को, जिन्हें हम भारतीय का सर या हम भी आपके साथ हैं नीरज जी, हमें राइट कैन एक्सकेलिबर या यू सेड could you briefly ये मैं अलग लूंगा सवाल. पाक एंड चाइना है मोर, ये किसने बोला आपके पास कि उनके पास ज्यादा है? अखिल तिवारी, यही बात है. आप बेवकूफों की तरह अगर आप जो फॉरेन मीडिया बताती है आप उसको, इफ यू टेक इट देन यू विल बी लाइक दिस. You think we don't know what they have, and you think we don't understand what they have, and you think we don't understand what we should have. It's all there. Don't worry. Nirbhay some other day. Okay. In a hypothetical shoot down, if we have to shoot down drone swarms or anything like that, what are our options? Current? Yeah, we have air defense gun systems. There's no problem. I'll talk about missiles some other day. So I don't want to get involved with missiles today. Okay? Right. Do we have capacity to make thousands? Yeah. We have. Don't worry. Can Excalibur be procured by? Yeah, you. Again, same question. I've answered this. Thank you for the detailed explanation. Yeah, मेरे पास सारे आपके सवाल का जवाब आ गया. कृपया अगर आप इस वीडियो को लाइक करते हो तो कृपया लाइक कीजिए और आपके दोस्तों को दीजिए. I want this video to go viral so that everyone knows where it is. देखिए, last but not the least, yeah, could you? I'll take your question, no problem. Could you please talk about how Russia used its artillery against China in 1969? They say the Russian firing. Yeah, they fired en masse. Okay. So they fired en masse, and it was a demonstration in the that river. There's a Kuril island in which they fired and they destroyed that island. It's a small island, and at that time China was not that strong, right? They en masse. It was a demonstration. We gave a demonstration of this sort to Pakistan along the LC, or वो हिल गए. It's not as if we have not done. We have also done this about 3-4 years back, right? Okay. Attacks is a thing it's a work in progress still. The gun is good, it's very heavy. There are certain issues which are still to be overcome. Some orders have been placed, some issues are there. It will come. Everything, देखिए, अब सबको पता होना चाहिए, एक बच्चा पैदा करने के लिए 9 महीने होते हैं. उससे पहले ना बच्चा होगा ना गाय भैंस भी होता है. हर एक चीज के लिए, राइट, फ्रॉम कंसेप्शन, पैदा होने तक एक समय है. ये प्रोसेस में भी एक समय लगता है. अगर आप सोचते हो कि आज के दिन मेरे को ट्रक माउंटेड वर्जन गन चाहिए, नहीं होता. वो एक सोच विचार के साथ होता है. एक दूसरा, में आपको पैसा चाहिए. आप जितना आप खरीद सकते हो वही आप खरीद सकते हो. अगर आप पूरा आर्मी में सिर्फ आर्टिलरी खरीदोगे तो इन्फेंट्री का क्या होगा, टैंक्स का क्या होगा, एयर डिफेंस का क्या होगा, सिग्नल्स का क्या होगा, कम्युनिकेशन का बैलेंस, संतुलन चाहिए. आपको संतुलन चाहिए. हर चीज जरूरत है. हमारे पास उतना पैसा नहीं है. एयरफोर्स में रफाल भी चाहिए आपको, एयरक्राफ्ट कैरियर भी चाहिए. आप सब चाहिए तो आप सब पैसा लगाइए. वो तो कोई देता नहीं है गवर्नमेंट को. तो गवर्नमेंट जितना है वही संतुलित तरीके से ये सब चल रहा है. और अगर आप इस लिहाज से देखेंगे तो हमारा तोपखाना बहुत मजबूत है. या थैंक यू, वेलकम. कैन आर्टिलरी बी एम्बेडेड? हे, दिस इज नॉर्मल, राइट? ये तो right. Your comments on suicide drone, nothing much. Don't like all these funny things. Suicide drone, ये drone, वो drone, don't affect artillery beyond the point. एक आध गन को उड़ा देंगे तो उड़ा देंगे, बाकी तो है ना. और उसके पास भी उतने ड्रोन नहीं है, और हमारा एयर डिफेंस भी है. and there are counter drone systems. So don't worry. देखियो, एक चीज याद रखना, ये लड़ाई है. लड़ाई में कुछ हासिल करते हो, कुछ खोते हो, कुछ जान लेते हो, कुछ जान गवा देते हो. यही तो सैक्रिफाइस है, और इसी में दम है, दम चाहिए. डोंट वरी. Yeah, thank you for attending. Thanks for all of you for attending. जैसे मैंने बोला, please make this video viral because I want all our countrymen to know about it. Right? Vishwanathan is back. Can titanium be replaced for iron? And no, you can't do it so easily. Titanium has its own problems. It's a complex technology. It's costly. It's just not wishing away. I've done a lot of research on titanium. Right. That's it for the day. Anything else? Anand, don't love my confidence, because more than confidence, you love my guns which are on ground. Okay. And when you hear what I talk about Kargil, you'll understand what artillery is all about, Indian artillery is all about. Right? That's all I have to say today. Thank you. Good evening. And tomorrow I'm going to come back and talk about India's rise. Right? It's a different topic. And then, of course, we'll have the question answer session. You can ask me anything you want on any issue. Thank you. Good evening. Jai Hind. And till tomorrow. Bye.